Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Jocelyn Lovely. Jocelyn Lovely Tarot. So good to see you guys here. I'm excited. I know that the energies have been so, it's like a lot of people are feeling overwhelmed with Sagittarius coming in with all that fire, all this desire that's coming in, and it's like transforming your life. And all of a sudden, it's like there's aspects of you that are being highlighted and enhanced because of the fire, and you're maybe not used to these new experiences, right? It's like a whole new experience in your life, it's a whole new ace, and a lot of you guys, even though fire is your energy, this type of fire that's being activated in areas where you probably, like I said, it's a new experience. You don't know how to handle this, all this wand energy, because Leo is essentially still fire. It's extra wand energy that's being enhanced, and it's like all over you, right? It's activating you, and it's like a lot of you guys are going from like either freeze or fight or flight tendencies, right? Because it's too much, it's too overwhelming. So I'm sensing a lot of people in the collective really spazzing out. A lot of people are getting aggressive, like they're in such an aggressive stage this season, because again, it's energies that are being enhanced that you've never dealt with before. So you don't, it's like again, if you're in a new energy, you don't know what, you kind of have to be able to receive the energy, be okay with the energy, not get too triggered by it, and then see how you react in the energy, right? I don't know if I'm making any sense. With all of this water for my Leos, if you guys resonate with this reading, like, share, and subscribe. If you're not a Leo and you're a wand energy anyways, or even if you're not a wand energy, this reading's still for you, because again, like I said, this Sagittarius energy is really starting to affect people. People are starting to feel crazy. Okay, yes, I said it. They're starting to feel like an itch they can't scratch, or their brain is overloaded or overactivated, right? So if you guys, let me see. Well, let's just start with the water element, right? It's almost like, even in the psychic realm, right? It's like you're sensing. Even with water element, you're sensing. It's almost like I said, with all of the energy that's coming up, you're extremely vulnerable. You're sensing yourself needing to be more vulnerable than ever. And it's scaring you shitless because again, it's new territory. So, and instinctually we just want to either run, or we want to hide, or we want to freeze, or we want to fight, right? Like I said. But it's almost as if, like, this new energy, you're getting information from higher self in a more calm, psychic, intuitive level, to embrace it. Embrace being vulnerable in your new surroundings, in your new environment, wherever you're at. It could be an old environment. It doesn't matter, because it's a state of being that's being activated. So in turn, it enhances and it changes everything around you. It changes every bit of yourself around you. Whether it's still the same job, the still same husband, wife, friendships, whatever. It's a different way of being, right? And it's like you've earned this. But that's the thing. Sometimes people, they want a new beginning. They want a new reality. But they don't understand the cost that comes with it. With a new reality, with a new change, a more optimistic perspective, right? It requires you to change. It requires you to feel everything out and adjust, right? Because if you were in an old paradigm, an old way of being, you didn't have to activate this. You didn't have to be as vulnerable. You didn't have to be as heightened. You didn't have to be as in tune. You didn't have to, because it was an old way of being you were comfortable in. Now you're in a new way of being, and it's like, holy shit, it came out of nowhere. And with the Sagittarius energy, it's really affecting you. That's why if some of you guys are noticing that if you have less patience, you're getting more frustrated, or you're lashing out more. That's exactly why it's happening, because it's like, okay, I'm in a new energy. I don't know how to harness it. And I'm afraid that maybe my reactions could be overbearing, or maybe you're somebody who's never really expressed themselves, right? With the wand and energy desire, you've never utilized those skills or those tools, so now it just seems like you're being all out there and frustrated when really it's just passion. But you haven't found an outlet or creative outlet to help where the passion, where the drive, where the desires can be placed properly. Like I said, you were just launched into this energy, and so you're trying to maneuver your way, but you don't know how. And the thing that hurts you is that, or hurts me and hurts everybody, is that we're blaming ourselves for being a new energy when this is what we've been praying for the whole time. We've been praying for this new energy, this new way of being, and now that it's here, it's like, oh my God, I don't think I can handle it. I don't know if I'm doing it right. You're not supposed to know how to do it right. And I've talked about this last week in my reading. It's like you're newly in this energy, trying to figure out who you are, trying to balance it. And because you don't know, you're going to make a lot of mistakes. You're going to accidentally lash out at people. You're going to, I don't want to ever make you feel like I'm talking to you in a bad way, right? I'm just being open about everybody and how we embrace the situation, right? For some of you, being more confident requires vulnerability. You being open enough and honest with yourself about what your needs are. Maybe you want to be, like I said, more confident. But that requires you to admit that this is where you want to be. The energy is there. The opportunity is there. Do you want to be selfish enough to be confident and not care what people think about you? Do you want to be selfish enough to be authentically you as you are and not care what people think about you? Ruffling some feathers, right? Because again, I'm dealing with people. Yes, you're a Leo. You're very confident. You're very charismatic. You're very loving. And even if you're not a Leo, right? Because again, we all have Leo aspects. We all have different signs, but we all have Leo in our charts, right? I'm talking to somebody who maybe doesn't like to ruffle feathers. Maybe you're more on the passive side. So this one energy is really killing you, right? You're like, it's too much. I can't handle it, right? But I could have swore you said you were ready for this. Now your higher self is sitting there saying, we love you, child. There's no wrong that you can do in this energy. This is just you really getting to explore this energy. It's like a child getting to know that there's options out there. Now, do you think you're brave enough to go out there and pursue your dreams, your wishes, your desires, and let yourself be lit on fire and then move forward? Or are you going to sense this fire burning within you, ready to let you become the most vulnerable, authentic version of yourself, and you're going to stop yourself because you can't handle that pressure? No, you don't go back. It doesn't matter how scary the emotion is, you don't go back. Some of you, I feel like you want to go back to your addictions. This new way of being is making you, not only do you have to be more vulnerable, because when you're choosing to be more vulnerable, you have to be accountable. It's the opposite aspect. You have to be more accountable about where you're going wrong, what you're doing to harm yourself and others. All the limiting beliefs, all the limiting ways, right? All of the stubbornness, that has to be acknowledged. That's being acknowledged, right? With this new wand energy and vulnerability. And so some of you guys can't handle that. It requires new levels of healing. You can't handle that. So what you're doing, some of you guys, I see you being tempted to go back to your addictions because it's safer. But it's like you know damn well that if you make that choice, you're really effing yourself over, right? Because think about it, you work so hard. You prayed every night. I'm talking to people who prayed every night for a different lifestyle. You prayed for healing. You prayed for change. I know there was a time where maybe your relationships didn't work out or certain things didn't work out, and you had to take accountability and stock in your life where you were messing things up, right? Where you had to be honest about where your feelings were at, how you managed to ruin the relationships, right? In your area, and then asking God to help you change, not be so controlling, not be so afraid. Not be so in fear of living your life as authentic as possible, right? Taking off that mask. You prayed for this. I'm talking to people who did the work, who were taking inventory, they were taking stock, they were going to therapy, they were journaling, they were really working with shadow aspect as well, right? And these people, again, I'm talking to you guys wanted this so bad, and then look, The portal's here. The level of healing is here. And you're so afraid. And your higher self's really... The reason I feel so confident even talking about this is because higher self was like, say what you need to say. The right people are going to receive this message and understand that this is a normal reaction. People are going to want to go and run back. But the right people are going to receive this message and understand that higher self is telling you, you worked so hard to get here. You are strong enough to deal with whatever comes at you. Your reactions may not be the best, or they may be the best. You don't know. Don't sell yourself short by running away. Give yourself the chance to live in a new experience that you've always wanted, that you could have had as a kid, but it never happened for you until now. Let yourself live this authentic version of yourself. Whether that's being accountable, being vulnerable, healing, whatever it is. Let yourself face your fears. All right, damn, that was so much in one card. It's funny because I just told you all these messages, but it's still the same thing, right? Because you get the King of Pentacles. You have found... This dude looks beat up, right? You were in the caves and you took stock. You took stock. You did the work. He came out with this pentacle. The pentacle's there. You're not happy about it. You thought you would be, but you feel like you're not enough. I'm talking to people who maybe they've just been beaten down, right? This dude looks beaten the hell down. But he understands. He understands the risk and the sacrifice and the rewards that it will take. Every time this person chooses to move forward, that's why you're the King of Pentacles. You take stock and inventory on where you think you will get the most benefits and profits. And you did the work. You took the stock, which is why you made the choice to, reap or sow seeds at that specific place. When you did that specific type of healing, you went into therapy knowing that you wanted to heal this area, this version of yourself, because it no longer worked. It was conflicting with your future. It was holding you back. You knew when you went to therapy that this is something you wanted to change, right? I'm using therapy as an example. So you did the work, and it's like you did the work, and now you get the key, right? You get the stock, you get the harvest, right? It's what you're gonna do with it now. You were given another opportunity to heal. Do you want to take it? Four of Pentacles is a person who's just it could be a good thing, it could be a bad thing, right? A person who invests. A person who's very careful with how they spend or how they go out there, not spending, but it's like holding on to their abundance, right? It's almost as if like I'm getting somebody who I'm getting more of a balanced card here, right? It's like you want balance. This is what you've been craving for. This is what you want. You see it, it's yours, right? But it's this fear of knowing that you're going to have to change, right? You're going to have to let go of some of these things that were helping you or you thought you were gaining something out of. It's letting these old ways of being go in order for you to reap something long term. It's balance. Knowing that you're worth more than this. That it's time to find a better, it's time to maybe invest somewhere else. It's time to let go, right? And invest in places where you know you're going to get more in return than what you're settling for. Here's the devil, right? This is fear, man. This is fear. Like, it wants to keep you bounded. It keeps telling you don't have the strength, right? Look at all this fucking fire energy around. It's so funny that it's fire energy, right? It's a red energy telling you, what are you doing? You're so safe and comfortable where you're at. Why would you even try? Like, why are you even thinking that you think you're better? Like, I set you in this specific place and this is where you belong. For you to think that you can go live a more authentic, happier version of yourself is bullshit, right? Because I don't want you to think that of yourself. Right? Because if the devil can convince you to stay where you're at, then the devil did a great job, right? Its whole purpose is to hold you back, because that's what the devil does. The devil try to hold you back. He could try. He can give you the option for you to run back to your addictions. It says this is where you're most comfortable. Because the devil doesn't take accountability. That's the thing about the devil. It doesn't take accountability, right? And if it sees you actually going out there to be something better than what it believes you are, now you're going against the devil's judgment, right? And then all of a sudden it's like, damn. Now it's like, it's like you telling the devil, yeah, I hold myself accountable. I move forward. I live life. I face my fears. You cannot stop me. But it's also like you're spitting in the devil's face because you're telling the devil, these shackles are too small. It's like you telling the devil, who the fuck do you think you are trying to keep me bounded, thinking that you think I'm stupid enough to go back to my addictions in the first place? I know better. I want to learn my lesson. I don't want to be the same anymore. Then therefore the devil's not happy, right? Because it's like so used to being attached to it and bonded to it. Then it's like you telling the devil, fuck you, right? F you. I hold myself accountable. You don't. That's why you're miserable. The devil's miserable, right? Because if the devil ever really went back to become accountable and higher light and humble, if the devil ever did anything like that, I don't think it would be able to, right? It can't. If the devil did that, the devil would have to change. He would have to give up his throne in the underworld, right? I don't know if I'm making sense, but it's like he's not willing to change because he likes it where he's at. He's getting short-term pleasure out of harming people or making people, instilling fear in people and making them believe they're not worthy of much. That's how he finds his control, his power. That's how people pledge to the devil. They're in fear of him and they serve him, right? Or her, whatever. It's all to say that you don't want to be bounded anymore. It's all to say that the reason why the devil hates humans and its sole purpose is to stop you guys from ascending is because it can't ascend. It won't. So it wants to instill this thought into people that they don't have to either. They shouldn't either. That is not as fun. Meanwhile, he's over here jealous, hateful, hurtful, trying to hold everybody back because he's in pain and he hates himself. Itself. And it wants you to feel the same way. It wants you to be stuck in lower energy. That's what it does. Yeah. Jupiter return benefits, right? Again, all of a sudden you weren't limited anymore. You weren't stuck where you're at. You have an opportunity to expand, to become the person that can receive gifts. These gifts, there's gifts that are waiting for you that like maybe a newer version of yourself, new friendships, new partners, whatever. A new job, healthy, just the word of healthy, peace of mind, gratitude, it's all waiting for you if you choose this life path. If you choose to stick on this path, because it's hard. It's really going to have to face your fears. All of these lower energies, you're going to have to face them. It's like that saying, you're only as strong as your weakest link. You can't ascend to a new 5D reality if your lower self is stuck. So higher self is literally waiting. It can't move. It chooses not to move without, right, your weakest link. You can't move your whole being. You can't move without it. So it's like it's kindly pushing you like, hey, come on, we can do this. I know you're afraid, but you're unstoppable, you're invincible, you're amazing. This is just temporary. Once you get used to being in this new creative way, in this new realm, then you'll feel better. That's how nice higher self is. You see how my tone changes when I think about higher self? Because higher self is like so beautiful. It's so forgiving. It's so loving. It's everything I wish I could be, right? Meanwhile, I'm over here talking from my shadow aspect because I feel like that's the most confident version of me, right? I wish I could be as gentle as like my higher self. Maybe I am, but I would wish I could be, right? Even more enhanced in that way. Then you have Taurus. I have very yellow, confident. It's funny because the King of Pentacles in Taurus, right? It's very earth energy, being grounded. It's you grounding yourself and essentially knowing that you're worth this investment. Look how happy this bull energy is, right? It's like it knows. Yes, it's stubborn, But it's almost like even the most stubborn parts of self are being healed. You're being healed and you're being told that you're enough. This is like, again, solar plexus energy saying I am enough. I have everything at my disposal to survive this and to face my biggest fears because I can. Followed by Libra, balance, right? It's you may not get it right off the bat. You may be scared, but you will recalibrate. You will find what suits you best in this new environment, but at least you went out there and tried. I give you props because some of you, unfortunately, you probably ran back, but that's okay. Higher self is still going to sit with you and push you every day because it wants you to experience this new way. That's the whole point of life too. It's like, it can't always be the same. It's boring, right? It's like facing your fears is part of life. It builds your confidence, right? It's this confidence here. And it's also balancing, right? Because it's like you have to bring your shadow with you. You have to, but it's not you have to, but it's like your shadow is being highly pushed and told every day that it's enough. And if it believes it's enough, it's going to stick with you. It's going to protect you, but it's going to stick with you in this beautiful new realm. Being vulnerable and all. It's like letting the shadow feel. It's scary. It's not used to doing that. It's used to being egotistic. It's used to getting its way. It's used to being stubborn when it doesn't understand, or it just runs. It's afraid. It's higher self really, really taking you under its wing and saying, I love you. And you're perfect. Just the way you are. And if you do want to experience this new way of being, yes, it sucks that you have to look within and hold yourself accountable, but that's who you are. You're being invited to use Scorpio energy to transform, right? Into the valley of shadow of death. You can change. You wanted this change. You can handle this change. Who else but you? They rely on you to do the change so that you can help others around you to do the same thing. So, yeah, my beautiful Leos, man, this reading really got to me. It's beautiful. I really respect how hard your guides and source and higher self, my guides as well, are trying to push us to become the better version of ourselves, no matter how scary, how much vulnerability will have to be shown. Man, you're about to be in a new level of vulnerability you haven't been in a while, and so it is very scary. I give them props because they're here pushing us even when we don't want to. Hoping that we're ready, hoping that we can do this, that we have enough respect for ourselves to want to go through this process with them. So, all right, I love you. Bye-bye.